Hello there, my name is Claire. Welcome back to my channel. For this week's video, I am going to be doing a dark academia apartment designed for an introvert in The Sims 4. This apartment is built in the world of Semi-Shuno that came with the City Living expansion pack. I am also going to be using the Life and Death expansion pack with the Strangerville pack and the Nifty Knitting Stuff pack. So for this entryway area, I made it very small, kind of come back later to have a drop zone area. If you're familiar with my channel, I say I love having a little drop zone with like a little chair to like sit down, even though your Sims don't need to sit down to put their shoes on and off. So we're just going to be adding a mirror, and the rest of the space is the kitchen and dining space. I wanted the main part of the apartment to be more closed off to this entryway area. I did want to have a little bit of a entry or a gathering space for your Sims. If they have Sims over, they can just stay in this like main entrance area, but then it keeps your Sims private hobbies safe behind the door. You can like lock the door for just your Sims, or it can be a club door. And I know that's like sounds a little bit counterintuitive with there being a apartment for an introvert, but I was thinking like, okay, if you just want to have like a few like family members for the introvert sim, you can use the get together expansion pack, make a club, and then have that door that leads to the rest of the apartment just for club members, and then your Sims can go in and out if they're your family, for instance. So we're just going to be adding a little bit of decoration onto the counters of the kitchen. I try to go very minimum with my decorations so I can have at least one or two Sims cooking, but with this home, I was imagining that this would probably just be one Sim living here, and so I just made one cleared counter space for them to prepare food on, and we're just going to be adding some art, but I do get rid of those like fruit pictures to replace them with an apron stand. So now we're just going to be adding a rug to separate the dining area from the kitchen, and we're just going to be adding a rug by the sink. I feel like that gray kind of like complements the gray on the rug in the dining area. And now we are in the hobby room, or the money making room. So I do have some items for your Sims to knit or to paint or to do some like writing. These are all like jobs that your sim can do at home and make money, so your Sims don't have to like leave the house or the apartment to have an income. They can just like work in this little area to make simoleons. So we're just gonna be working on the desk space now, and I got distracted by finding those aprons, so now we're just going to be finding some clutter items to decorate both the office and the kitchen space. So now we're just going to be adding this art. This is from the Strangerville pack, along with the doors from the Strangerville pack. I knew it had a few like darker, older world items. That's why I decided to use the Strangerville pack. But now we're just going to be adding an art easel and going to be adding a few items from the Nifty Knitting pack. I try to mention this in at least one or two videos per month, but I do try to be intentional with the pack use I have. And so if I'm using like a certain pack, I try to use at least 3 items. If it's like a stuff pack, like the Nifty Knitting pack, but if it is a larger or more expensive pack, I do try to use more items. So in a way, we are both getting our money out of that pack that we purchased. So if you want to play in this apartment, you can check the description. All of the information for this apartment will be down there, and if you have any build suggestions for me, you can leave a comment, and make sure to give this video a like and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. I post new videos every single Tuesday, and we are so close to 160 subscribers. Just want to say a big thank you to those who hit the subscribe button. This has been a long YouTube journey that I've been on, and every subscriber really does mean so much to me. So again, a big thank you to those who have subscribed. But now we are going out of the hobby or money Smolian room office and going to be working on the more living room area. So I knew I wanted to have a library wall, and also knew I wanted to have a TV for gaming, and so we're just gonna be adding this one from base game. I did add the TV from the City Living pack, but it just seemed too big for the space, and so that's why I went for this one with the like sound bars on the side of the TV, and I'm going to be adding a couch from the Life and Death expansion pack. I'm going to be adding these gaming consoles, and I do also add like the Sims version of like the smart home system, so your Sims can have conversations with the smart home systems. And I did like do a little bit of AI googling, and I realize that the smart home system can help with your Sims social need. And if I'm remembering correctly, it said that your Sims can like spend at least 3 days without talking to a real Sim or another Sim. And now we're just going to be making a little reading corner here with the rocking chair, and going to be adding a stack of books. I was imagining it, this is like the current book series that the Sims reading, so it's more close and on hand. And now we're just going to be adding a little bit of decoration into the main living space. So I'm going to be adding some art, and now we're going into the bathroom. And this bathroom is very long and skinny, but later on I do come back into this bathroom to make it a little bit wider. I felt a little silly doing a large bathroom for the one Sim, but like I mentioned earlier, I do want to make sure we are both getting good money use out of the packs I build in, and so I made this bathroom bigger so you could have a bathtub in this space as well. And we're just going to be adding all of the necessary clutter items for this bathroom, and I should probably mention the Raven wallpaper. I wanted to go for something kind of bold in this bathroom. I kind of feel like in real life currently that is a trend right now, is to go like with like a bold wallpaper in like smaller spaces. I've seen this with like laundry rooms and bathrooms and like powder rooms. So it's just something I've seen, and I kind of wanted to implement it into this bathroom, since it is a small bathroom. Even though later on I do extend it, it's still somewhat small, and so I decided to just keep it with the bird wallpaper or the raven wallpaper. And now we're just going into the one and only bedroom in this home, or this apartment I should say, and we're just going to be adding a dresser at the end of the bed, but I do put the dresser by the window. It just kind of fit better. It framed the window a little bit better than at the end of the bed. That made it feel a little bit tight. And I'm just going to be adding some side tables onto either side of the bed. And I do add a gallery wall into the bedroom for art and to hide the picture frame TV. So this is a one bedroom home, but it has two TVs in it. I was mentioning that the TV in the living room would be a more gaming spot, and then the TV in the bedroom would be more of like a wind down late night show type of area. And we're just going to be now adding that gallery wall. So most of these pictures are from the base game. I do add one picture I know from the life and death pack, and we're just going to be changing the colors of the frames so they kind of fit more of this dark academia style. And now we're just going to be adding some more art. I feel like having that gallery wall was kind of hard for like the rest of the space. It's like, okay, I have like all this art on the one wall, but I feel like having the rest of the wall kind of like plain didn't like look good at first, but I worked on it a little bit and it did end up just like needing just a little bit of like art here and there. But for the most part, the art is on this wall with the picture frame TV. So we're just going to be adding a few more pieces of art and going to be working on this like dresser room corner of the bedroom. I do have a chair in the dressing room corner, and now we're just kind of like looking for the clutter. At this point, I realized that this bedroom is kind of big, and I was going for a more cozy vibe in the bedroom, and so that is when I decided to make the bedroom just a little bit smaller on one side so the bathroom can be bigger. I can add the bathtub, and the bedroom can feel more cozy. So we're just going to be adding a wall. So this is a private bathroom. The reason why I didn't like extend the wall and I have it like a separate piece and then I added it into the bathroom, that is because apartments don't really work in The Sims. It's technically a room, and so to make this all one space, I had to like separate the wall so then it could be one space still. I don't know if that like makes sense. I feel like there's other YouTubers that probably explained that a lot better. And now we're just going to be adding some more of that art and going to be adding a chair into the corner of the bedroom. I just wanted a nice little seating area, just something to like fill in the space. And now we're just going to be finishing up this bedroom. It was a very simple bedroom, and I love the green wallpaper. I feel like the wood tones very much complement this dark academia style. I do kind of wish the bed frame didn't have a skull on the top of it, but that's just kind of my main general complaint with the Life and Death expansion pack is that there is a lot of skulls on items that I like, but I would use more if there weren't skulls on so many items. So we're just going to be making a little drop zone and having some letters on this little side table that is the main drop zone area. And I do switch out the drop zone table for something a little bit smaller. I feel like that original table was just a little bit too big for a space that's supposed to be a little bit more opening and welcoming. So we're just going to be finishing up this video. I do move the shoe rack to the bedroom because of the drop zone table, and I think the positioning of the shoe rack. It makes a little bit more sense next to the dresser, but we are going to be finishing up this video, going to be going into the screenshots. So I hope you enjoyed watching. If you have any build suggestions for me, make sure to leave them down in the comment box. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up on your way out, and if you want to see more from me, I am on Instagram, and if you want to play in this apartment, you can check the YouTube description of this video. It has all of the information of this apartment. My gallery ID is green_rose_sims, and that is the same on my Instagram. So I hope to see you all next week for another Sims 4 video. Bye!